In an age where we can have anything, comfort, attention, validation, pleasure, why do so many of us feel empty? We scroll through infinite entertainment, chase likes, chase success, chase people, yet somehow we end up feeling more lost than ever. It's strange, isn't it? We have everything humanity once dreamed of, but something inside us feels broken. Why? Because what we call happiness today might actually be an illusion. This is not a story about sadness. It's a story about how we misunderstood happiness, how a generation surrounded by abundance ended up starving for meaning. Chapter 1, The Pursuit That Never Ends, 1:30 to 3 o'clock. We were told since childhood, be successful, find love, buy the house, get the car, achieve more, and then you'll finally be happy. But happiness was never meant to be a final destination. It's a signal, not a state. It's the body's way of saying, right now, you're in alignment. The problem begins when we try to make that signal permanent, when we start chasing that fleeting high as if it's a possession we can keep forever. That's how happiness turned from an experience into a product, from something felt into something sold. The world learned how to profit from our longing, and so began an endless cycle, the dopamine loop of consumption and dissatisfaction. Each achievement gives us a brief taste of joy before the hunger returns, because we never learned to live with happiness, only to run after it. Chapter 2, The Dopamine Paradox, 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Let's get scientific for a moment. Your brain releases dopamine, not when you achieve something, but when you anticipate it. Dopamine isn't the chemical of happiness, it's the chemical of pursuit. It keeps you running, scrolling, buying, wanting more. Social media, fast fashion, dating apps, they've all mastered this cycle. They feed your brain small, fast rewards, constant anticipation, endless novelty, and your brain adapts. It starts craving stimulation, not satisfaction. Soon, silence feels uncomfortable. Stillness feels wrong. You can't just be. You must always do. We've become addicts of distraction, chasing micro hits of pleasure until we forget what peace feels like. And when that stimulation fades, emptiness creeps in. The silence we tried to escape, now louder than ever. Chapter 3, The Comparison Curse, 5 o'clock to 6:30. In the past, people compared themselves to neighbors, friends, or colleagues. Today, we compare ourselves to billions. The internet doesn't show us reality. It shows us highlight reels, filtered bodies, curated vacations, perfect homes, flawless smiles, each image whispering, "You're not enough." We scroll through perfection until we begin to hate normalcy. We forget that happiness is not found in perfection. It's born in acceptance. But how can we accept ourselves in a world built on illusion? The system is designed to make us feel incomplete, because an incomplete person keeps consuming. Philosopher Schopenhauer once said, "Man is never happy, except at the moment when he is striving for something. The moment we get what we wanted, the desire dies, and with it, our joy." Maybe that's why peace feels so unnatural, because we've trained our brains to exist only in the chase. Chapter 4, The Philosopher's Warnings. Let's look back. Humanity has wrestled with happiness for thousands of years, and every philosopher had their own answer. Buddha said the root of suffering is attachment, that craving leads to misery, and only detachment leads to freedom. Epicurus, often misunderstood, taught that happiness comes not from indulgence, but from simplicity, from removing unnecessary desires. Nietzsche went further. He believed joy and suffering are intertwined, that true happiness is not comfort, but the strength to embrace pain and still say yes to life. Kierkegaard said despair comes not from having nothing, but from being disconnected from meaning. And Socrates warned that the unexamined life, the life lived on autopilots, is not worth living at all. They all pointed toward the same truth. Happiness is not out there, it's within, but only for those brave enough to stop chasing and start seeing. Chapter 5, The Emptiness Within. So why do we still feel empty? Because somewhere along the way, we replaced being with becoming. We no longer ask, "Who am I?" We ask, "Who should I be to be liked, to be seen, to be loved?" Our identities are shaped by algorithms, our emotions by trends, our dreams by comparison. Even our idea of happiness isn't ours, it's borrowed. We imitate joy instead of feeling it. We perform contentment instead of living it. That's why when you finally get what you wanted, the car, the job, the followers, it feels good for a moment and then fades. Because what you really wanted wasn't the object, it was peace. And peace cannot be bought, only cultivated. Chapter 6, The Rebellion of Stillness. So how do we escape this loop? How do we reclaim our minds in a world designed to distract them? It begins with a rebellion of stillness. When you sit alone without reaching for your phone, when you let silence breathe, when you stop running toward the next dopamine hit, you begin to hear something ancient inside you. That whisper you've been drowning out is not emptiness. It's awareness. It's your mind detoxing from noise. Step 1. Stop chasing happiness. Start seeking truth. Ask yourself, what's real when the screen turns off? Step 2. Replace consumption with creation. Build, write. Meditate, move. Creation brings meaning, and meaning brings a quieter, deeper form of joy. Step 3. Embrace struggle, growth. Feels uncomfortable because comfort kills expansion. True joy isn't found in avoiding pain. It's found in transforming it. Chapter 7. Redefining happiness. Maybe happiness was never meant to be the goal. Maybe it was the side effect of living with purpose. The people who feel most alive aren't those chasing constant joy. They're the ones doing meaningful things, even when it's hard, even when it hurts. Happiness isn't the fire itself. It's the warmth of the flame you keep alive through meaning. And when you stop chasing it, it returns, quietly, naturally, like breath. Because true happiness isn't loud. It doesn't need an audience. It's the calm that comes when you finally stop performing. The myth of happiness isn't that happiness doesn't exist. It's that we were told it would be permanent. But happiness is like sunlight. You can't hold it. You can only step into it. And when it fades, you wait, knowing it will return. So stop measuring your life by how happy you are. Measure it by how present you are, by how deeply you love, how honestly you think, how fearlessly you grow. Because meaning lasts longer than happiness. And when meaning fills your life, happiness stops being a chase and becomes a companion. This is LOGIVERSE, where we don't chase illusions. We uncover truths. Thank you for watching. And remember, emptiness isn't the absence of happiness. It's the space where your real self begins to speak.